Okay, so this is my favorite sort of review because this sort of review is actually very rare. God, I've done so many reviews. This is the MITAKON 35mm f0.95. Wow, that's fast, right? Nice communist Chinese manufactured lens. Isn't that cute? A nice little fake leather case it actually comes in. Yeah, really special. A lot better than you get for Zeiss. The lens is $600, 11 elements, 9 rounded aperture blades. Let me sum up this lens in a couple words before I get to the details. Effing incredible. Knock my socks off. My God. I mean, damn. Yes, this lens is incredible. I can actually call this lens a true art lens. Now, this is a Fuji mount that doesn't require an adapter. It also comes in a Sony mount and one other mount. It is a Fuji X mount. I said 11 elements, 9 rounded aperture blades. It's a chrome-plated brass base, which is high quality. Even Fuji's finer lenses use that. The focusing is incredibly smooth. It is a clickless aperture. Let's get to the details of the lens. By the way, I posted up quite a few boring test shots. I also did infrared tests on this lens. It does not have spots for infrared photography, so it's perfect for infrared photography also. Front filter threads 55mm. The saturation, most of the shots you'll actually see in the links below are straight out of camera. A few of them were edited in post. Incredible saturation. You can get really close. It's 35 centimeters, or basically just a tiny hair over 1 foot, which is awesome. The focusing on this lens is perfect amount of resistance for manual focus. Now, if you have an issue with manual focus, that's your issue. It's not mine. Some people do have this issue. Doesn't matter how great the lens is, they're never going to buy a manual focus lens. You should reconsider that. Some manual focus lenses, because of the slop in the action and the fact that they're not that sharp, focus peaking does not really work that good on them. This lens works in the top 1 percentile. I've got a lot of manual focus lenses I've used on Fuji. This is right at the top. I can actually say now that even though this is not a Fuji lens, it is a Fuji X mount lens, but it is a manual focus lens. If Fuji made this lens, like, you're never going to come out with this incredible lens really fast, but it will be manual focus only, people would buy this lens based upon what this is. There are no real reviews out there about this lens. Now, I'll warn you right now, this is the Mark II version. If you find any bad mentions of this lens online, I think there's a couple. That's because it was the Mark I version, which was kind of fuzzy. This is the Mark II version. Anything you buy now will be a Mark II version, unless you go on eBay and buy some used copy. This lens is unbelievably sharp, even at f0.95. Really damn sharp. The way this lens works too, and a lot of lenses fail in really low light, especially for peaking. This lens is the finest, very low light lens that I've ever used on a Fuji, and my God, I've used a lot of them. A lot. Incredible saturation, sharp as hell, smooth as silk. You can get very close with it. I can actually say that as far as an adapted lens, now the 58mm Voigtlander f1.4 Nocturne requires an adapter. This doesn't require an adapter. That the two finest lenses in no particular order, actually this one works better on the Fuji than the Voigtlander does, not that the Voight doesn't work perfectly, is the 58 Voigtlander and this lens. The MITAKON 35mm f0.95. So top 2 adapted lenses, well, not adapted, but non-Fuji lenses for Fuji X mount. If I could only have 5 lenses now for the Fuji system, it would be the 16mm 1.4, the 50 to 140, the 55 to 200, the 56 1.2 Fuji lens, and this lens, the MITAKON 35. Two of the, yeah, that's, if I could only have 5 lenses, yeah, one of them would be a non-Fuji lens, which would be this lens. I got some links below for infrared shots. I tested this with infrared. It has no hot spots for infrared photography. I said this is the Mark II version. It's $600 or $599. It is all metal. It is insanely heavy. It's like, well, this lens can't be that heavy. Oh no, it's really, really heavy. 55mm front. Front thread. It does not come with this hood that I showed you with. I showed that this when I remade the video. This lens was a mind blower. Really, really a mind blower. Oh my God. Really most important thing, I need to slap myself right in the damn face. Most importantly, I didn't put it in my notes here. The bokeh on this lens, you know, f2, f1.4, f1.8, like I said, the aperture is clickless. The bokeh is incredible. It's reminiscent of some of my very favorite old M42 screw mount lenses, which I adapt to the Fuji. Incredible bokeh, incredible saturation, insanely razor sharp, insanely. Focus peaking, you think, well, 0.95, I bet you missed some shots. No, because this lens is so tight, the focus peaking is dead on. I mean, I tried to make it miss. I mean, I didn't try to make it miss, but I mean, I thought it'd be fast, you know. Take some shots of, like some 3mm sized diodes. I got a link of that posted up too. And I tried to, you know, hit it fast, like, well, I'm going to miss it. No, I mean, I hit it every time. A lot of lenses have slop, and the focus peaking is not dead on accurate, wide open at 1.4 or 1.8. You know, none of those lenses that are adapted are, you know, this fast. Most of them at most are 1.4. Most of them are 1.8 f2. Even then, the focus peaking doesn't tap it dead center because there's just slop in the focus peaking relative to where you actually nail it. It's like, well, is it me? No, it's the lens. You know, unless you are that bad. And I'm not. Absolutely incredible. I give this lens a 10 out of 10. One of the finest lenses I've ever reviewed. There's really only one other review online, and it's by this English knob that loves everything. Oh, this is a beautiful lens, you know? Let's take a look at it. It is wonderful. Don't you love this lens? I can't stand reviews like that. I can't stand... When someone likes everything, the review is worthless. Worthless! It's like a photography magazine. Since it's so full of advertisements, they've never given anything a bad review. All photography magazines are worth shit. Because they can't give anything a bad review. Why? Because they're nothing but advertisements. The people that pay for that magazine are not people that buy the magazine. They're the damn advertisements in there. The magazine itself is nothing other than a vehicle to deliver magazines to people so they could see the ads. So those are useless. Some YouTube channels are like that. Oh my God, this is a wonderful lens, you know. Everything they review is wonderful. But what the hell is wrong with them? Not only do they not know anything about lenses, just, oh, this is wonderful. It's like, really? Everything you review is wonderful. I hate reviews like that. I hate, well, not a review, it's people that review, this is wonderful. It's like, have you ever given anything a bad review? What the hell is your opinion worth? Nothing. Hate reviews like that. That stuff pisses me off. It does piss me off a lot. So this lens blew my socks off. I've had so much fun with it. I've done a lot of testing with it. A lot. By the way, too, very importantly, unlike other lenses, including Fuji lenses, I've got the 35-1.4 Fuji. I've got the 35 f2 Fuji. Obviously, the field of view on this is basically 50 millimeters. Crop sensor, 35 millimeters, basically a 50. For low light, oh my God, for low anything. This blows the hell out of Fuji's own lenses, 35mm 1.4 and 1.2. It is a manual focus lens, I know that, for Christ's sakes. If you have an issue with that, that is your issue. You shouldn't, though. It slows you down. There's no issue with using focus peaking. I mean, is everything you're shooting, you know, a squirrel on crack? I mean, do you really have to track it that fast? Really? If so, then grab an autofocus lens, for Christ's sakes. But this is not an autofocus lens. Absolutely incredible lens. I give it my highest recommendation, period, 10 out of 10, right down the board. And what is amazing, it is so good right down the board. It's so smooth, so well built. The bokeh is incredible. It's sharp as piss. Saturation is incredible. Build quality. A focus resistance. It's not too much, it's not too little. It's perfect. And the fact that it is a cheap lens, cost-wise, not cheap in build, a cheap lens that came out of communist China. This is as good as it gets. I could not recommend a lens higher than this, but that's my conclusion based upon countless hundreds of lens reviews. So take it for what it's worth. I don't sell anything. I don't make a dime off this lens if you buy it or don't buy it, one way or the other. So take with it as you will. Thank you so much for watching. The links for a bunch of pictures below from this lens are in the link below. If you like these videos, you can drop me a buck or two, tell me to jump off a cliff, whatever makes you happy. Bye.